May of 2014. So it's been
Oh wow,
4 years now.
almost
Yeah.
4 years. I always think it's 5 for some reason. I just look.
kind of.
We're old souls. So, questions.
How did you meet your significant other? What was it that first caught your attention? So the first time I saw Gabby was I was actually shooting a film in Maryland, and she auditioned for one of the roles for it, and didn't think of anything at the time, but because I was the one actually recording the audition, didn't think of anything at the time, but
That's very glamorous. What a story.
that's when I first met her. But how things developed, and what caught my attention was actually when we were going to school together. She actually would drive me home when I needed a ride, and she helped me out with a few things, and I realized that she cared for me, and I was like, why, what is this, and why is she helping me out? So
I didn't know I liked you at the time. I was just a nice person.
well, I didn't know that, but that got my attention.
When I walked in for that audition, I actually didn't even see Steven. I had no idea he was there. I was completely oblivious to the fact I did. I also had a boyfriend at the time. But then when I walked onto the set that we're filming, Steven was always this guy that kind of had his like poofy hair and just kind of walked around like literally gliding. Like he was just so, his mind was somewhere in the art that he was just like, oh, hello. Okay, bye. Like he was just
being an artist.
So
okay.
to me, he was like, oh, all right, there's this kid that's just really into his art. That's cool. I'm gonna go, home. But
seems too much
then
America.
we, I remember one time at a pool party at their house. That's when I really noticed him as a person. When I was very impressed by his pecs in a pool. But no, after we started hanging out in school, we were able to slowly develop that friendly relationship, and all of a sudden I realized that this guy that I started texting with every single day, I was like, okay, why are we texting so much? What is going on? And we slowly developed that relationship, and before I knew it, he held my hand once, and I didn't let go ever since. I decided not to let go. So
And that's when I knew.
that's when I found out.
That's when we both knew.
Okay, next question.
How did you know it was love? So I guess we answered that question.
Yeah, so just to expand on that, we were sitting on a friend's couch during a movie night with friends, and I was my hands were crossed like this, and his were crossed, and I had kind of no expectation, but an expectation in the meantime. I knew that I liked him at the time, but I didn't want to be the first one to act. I was fresh out of a relationship, maybe like 4 or 5 months out of it, and didn't want to rush. And then he just like very lightly tapped my finger from underneath her arms, and like I said, it took me about a minute to respond.
Which I was freaking out the whole time. I was like, did I just make a mistake? Am I about to be, rejected and all that?
It was a big deciding moment for me. I was like, do I show this kid that I like him, or do I go with the norm and not show this kid that I like? But no,
I'm not a kid anymore.
He's a man. He's a sweet man. Sorry.
What small detail about him or her that still melts your heart? Well, for me, is every time she laughs at cats doing stupid things, or at any time when she laughs. But
Yeah.
that just can't get enough of it.
I think with Steven is he's got a few things. He's just this funny guy. I think mainly when he smiles, when he's genuinely happy. Like let's say I made him lunch when he didn't expect it, or I brought him home coffee or something. Just even the smallest things. Like he would literally, because when he smiles, but then when he really smiles out of happiness, like you can't see his eyes. He goes like, hey, Gabby. It's like a dumb smile. It's so cute. So that melts my heart. And also when on special occasions, like he would be the sweetest guy ever. Like he would just take care of every single one of my needs, and even not on special occasions. Only maybe if I'm tired, coming back from somewhere, and if I'm having a stressful day, he would just make sure I'm treated like a queen and make me feel very, very good, and leave notes around the house that he loves me.
Did it make you feel like a queen? That's good. Good to know. You should do that more.
Yes, you do.
What aspects of their love has the deepest impact on you? You wanna go for it? I have.
You go.
It would be deepest impact on me is honestly that she keeps me in check in terms of just no, you do, you keep me in check of my work and my career, my motivation. So I can get demotivated, you know, as we all do as artists, but you remind me what's important and you encourage me because you have so much energy. You always go so far, and I need that a lot of the time. And you?
With me, it's I think his unconditional, literally unconditional love. Like that's the part of his love that I love the most. He would literally, he's as loyal as a puppy, you know, and not saying that in a derogatory way. He is just such a loyal companion that he will make sure you're not only taken care of, but he will love you through anything. I've been not the best wife to him sometimes, or the best person, and he would just never speak back in a way that would offend me. He would just, in a very dignified, stoic way, take it, and then once everything's calmed down, he would come and make peace. And he just knows how to love really well without hurting you at all. And that really means a lot, because not all of us grow up that way or get that. So he does that, and it can melt a heart, really. So that's it to me.
Next question. When your significant other isn't around, is there something that reminds you of them that almost makes you feel close? Like the leftover food you cook in the fridge? Does that count? No.
I guess.
No, it's just the scent of her. I think all my memories are associated with different scents with her, and whenever I smell them, they're just vivid memories. So definitely the scent around the house.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. That's your way of remembering things. I think with Steven, I mean, look at this hair. It's just seeing little hairs of it all over the place.
Yep.
It's just, yeah, literally like seeing his hair. It's
So
nice. It's nice to not be the only person around the home that has hair laying around. You know, I would feel bad, but lately I've been seeing a lot of his hair, and I'm like, oh, that's Steven's, that's mine. You know, like drop them into separate places of the house. Like that's my area. That's it. But no, honestly, your hair just reminds me of, oh, you know, he grooms himself, and he's just this unique, charming individual.
So I shed.
Yes. His shedding.
I'm the pet of the house.
Is very
apparently.
endearing. Yes.
That's nice. Good
You're
to know.
like a cat. He does act like a cat.
What element captures his or her essence the most?
His hair. Again, it's gonna be his hair. That's the one thing that he's got going for him.
And for you, it's
I think
this
everyone knows it.
the smell.
And I think his height too.
Yeah. So when you see a shadow cast
Very
over
skinny shadow.
your,
What's my smell like?
yourself, it's a sweet. I want to say not fruity. It's just sweet. It's a sweet smelling, comforting scent. Makes me relax when I can smell it. I feel comforted. Outside of intimate love, what other types of love have a positive impact on your life? For me, it would be. Can I go first?
Yes.
For me, it's definitely my family. On the other side of the country, my mom, she calls me every week to ask how I'm doing and how things are going. And that kind of love and care is something that I don't appreciate always, and not as often as I should, and be thankful for it. But that's the greatest care and love I can get outside of this marriage.
I think it's the same for me. My mom is all the way in Bulgaria, so it's always nice to hear her. She calls me pretty much every day, or messages me every day, and Facebook stalks us. When you're busy and when you're not thinking too much about it, it could sometimes you feel annoyed, but then when you actually step back and think about it, it's the best love you could receive outside of, you know, the love with a significant other. It's just so sweet to have your parent reach out to you and love you from thousands of miles away, wherever they are, either in this country or in a different one. It's just really nice.
And as a positive impact, it's for sure it feels so supportive and encouraging. It reminds you that, that you are loved. I mean, of course, loved, but just by other people. It's not just one person that you receive love from, but just receiving it from somebody else, especially family. It just encourages me.
It reinforces our relationship, knowing that our parents or our friends, they love us. When you feel loved by other people too, it's a very wholesome thing to not just seek that love in your significant other, but you feel it from all over the place, because different people love different facets of you, or all of you, and it just feels nice to have a healthy group of people that you can love and they love you back. So yeah, there really is nothing like